Eleanor Roosevelt is quoted to have said, "Being drawn together through the work is one of the most satisfying ways of making and keeping friends." As we learn from Simon Sinek's Golden Circle, people who share the same beliefs and value form a stronger bond than those who simply work together. Specifically, Sinek explains, if you hire people who could do the job, they will work for your money. If you hire people who believe in what you believe, they will work with blood, sweat, and tears. Eleanor Roosevelt fostered these relationships through her various work with many women's leagues and committees throughout the 1920s. Eleanor Roosevelt was the leader in advocating for women's active participation as voters, party leaders, and department heads. She went on to support the working women with a focus on women's full inclusion in unions, the living wage, birth control, and the right to strike and bargain collectively. She also advocated for women to enter the military and work for the defense industries. To further support these women, she actively worked to create child care provisions. After her time in the White House as First Lady, she continued to push Truman and Kennedy to address women's issues. Her insistence that President Kennedy appoint more women to his administration left JFK to create the first presidential commission on the status of women. He appointed Eleanor Roosevelt as the chair. We could take away 6 leadership lessons from Eleanor Roosevelt. First, stand up for what you believe in. Eleanor Roosevelt supported the anti-lynching laws even when her husband didn't, because he was afraid of losing the votes of the Southerners. Great leaders take a stand even when it means taking a risk. Second, support and facilitate the success of those around you. Eleanor Roosevelt often attended meetings for Franklin Roosevelt when he was governor and rehabilitating from the paralysis of his legs. Roosevelt would not have been as successful if not for his wife. Have a pulse on your environment. The strong friendships that Eleanor Roosevelt made gave her a network of trusted advisors. It was her friend, Lorena Hickok, a journalist, who suggested that she hold weekly press conferences for women only. This ensured that the country received news from women's point of view. Be part of the solution, not the problem. Eleanor Roosevelt's focus was on lifting women up and not fixating on the injustices of women. Great leaders are savvy in achieving important goals. Fifth, use power and influence for social change. Eleanor Roosevelt was instrumental in shaping the New Deal and bringing relief to those in need during the Great Depression. And finally, be bold, play big. One of Eleanor Roosevelt's biggest accomplishments as a leader was the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was passed in December of 1948. Over a 40-year span, Eleanor Roosevelt fought for women's equality. She is responsible for advancing women politically, economically, and socially, and is considered the First Lady of the world. She is a prominent woman in leadership.